Hello everyone. Now at this point we're going to go through how to build a relationship using Microsoft Access. And in this particular example we're going to see two tables be utilized in this particular example. So now we have the department table, and if we were to look at this we could see that there's no data currently in the table, and if we look in the design view we start to see that there is a primary key department name in this particular table. If we go over here to employee, see there's no data. When we go to the design view, we could see employee number is the primary key. Once again, a primary key is the field that's designated that must be unique. In other words, it can't repeat. So it uniquely identifies every record that's stored in that particular table. All right, now I'm just going to close down these tables, and I'm going to go over here to the next part of the work here, and we click on relationships. We click on relationships, you're going to see you get prompted by the window to add the tables that you're going to build out. Now, for the most part, this is Microsoft Access. It's a personal database system, management system, so it does allow you to create what are known as ERDs, or entity relationship diagrams. I'm going to go ahead and add the department table and the employee table and click close. So right now, in this particular setup, we're looking at these not so much as tables, but the logical design elements known as entities. So we have department and employee, and here are the columns in each of the tables, but if we're talking about them as entities, these are known as attributes. So this process is really easy in Access, and what we're going to do now is, if we look at this, we could discuss the fact that a department can have many employees. Now that's a business rule. There are exceptions to this depending upon the organization you're working with and whatnot. But for this example, we're acknowledging the fact that the business rule exists such that a department has many employees. Now that would be a one-to-many relationship. To build that here in Access, it's very simple. You can click on the primary key on the one side of the relationship and drag it over to the field on the many side and let it go. Once you do that, you get prompted here with the Edit Relationships dialog box. You'll see that you'll have access to the other fields. However, we're going to keep them as they are. So department name is going to be related to the department name. Now I'm going to talk about that in a second. One of the other aspects to this particular exercise is you want to enforce what's known as referential integrity, and I'll go over that in a moment. And also you can cascade updated related fields, but we can leave off the delete records. So we'll do both of those and then click create. There. Now you'll see this connector appear. On the left hand side, this is the one side, meaning one department can have many employees, so you have one, and on the many side you have what looks like the infinity symbol. Now in most modeling tools you may see this as a crow's foot. There's several different types of notation, probably the crow's foot being the most popular, but Microsoft Access defaults to and only uses the infinity symbol, so it's one to many, one to many. Now going back to that referential integrity checkbox there, what that basically says is the records that appear in here cannot exist without a corresponding record over in here. So if we were to see data in these tables and we had a department and the department name was information technology, and we had an employee over here and that employee's name was Frank, and Frank worked in the department known as information technology, well, that works out. That's a well-formed relationship. However, if we had an employee named Sally and she worked in the legal department, and we went over to the department table or the department entity and we saw that there was no data in there for the legal department, that would be a violation of the referential integrity. So the referential integrity comes from the fact that the foreign key, which is department in the employee table, refers to the value of the primary key in the department table. Once again, the foreign key value in the employee table refers to the primary key value in the department table. The value must exist here first in the primary as the primary key before you could begin using it here as a foreign key in the one-to-many relationship. I hope that helps.